Good day, everyone. Welcome to Elon's Little Kitchen. About a week or two ago, Bruce posted a recipe called lemon yogurt Castella cake on my wall. So it has a quick video and it does show the ingredients throughout the video in grams and things like that. So anyway, I spent some time and I broke it down to cups and tablespoons and all of that, and I'm going to attempt to make this cake. So I guess we should get started. Most of my stuff are pre-prepped except for a few things, which I will do with you guys just to save time on the video, so you're not here for like an hour, 2 hours watching, okay? So I broke it down. The first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 300 degrees. So I've done that. It's preheating now. And the pan size I used in the recipe was 29 by 7 by 10. I do not have one of those yet. But I do have two smaller, thinner loaf pans. So I'm going to use both of those in place of one. I'm going to make two. Okay, so the ingredients are 70 milliliters of vegetable oil, which I have here. 2/3 a cup of cake flour, which I do not have. So instead of 2/3 a cup of cake flour, the alternate choice, I'm just going to measure it out quickly with you here, is 2/3 of flour, all-purpose flour, minus, I guess, 2 tablespoons. So what I'm going to do, because the 2 tablespoons to make up the 2/3 cup is cornstarch. So there's 1/3 cup. I'm going to get 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and put it in there. And then I'm going to fill the rest up to make it 2/3 cup of flour. I'm just going to do it this way. Oops. And I'm just putting it in a bowl because it does have to get sifted. There we go. Yeah. So that's done now. I'm going to put that aside there. I'm going to put these aside over here. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to heat up our oil. So I'm pouring in a little saucepan. In the video, they heat it up directly in the bowl, but the bowl I'm using has a plastic bottom, and I'm not putting it on the stove. So I'm just going to heat it up, and that can go in the sink. And then what I'm going to do is get the bowl ready, and then we're going to go from there. But while that's heating up, I need 6 eggs for this recipe. And they have to be separated into egg yolk and egg white. So I've already cracked 5 eggs, so we're just going to crack the last egg and separate it very carefully. I'll tell you something. I'm not as professional. I'm not, I just crack my eggs and pray to God I don't do what I just did. Because I just poured my egg white in with the egg yolk. Oh, I could fix that. So anyway, mistake number 1, not paying attention. So I think I got it all out and put it in there, which is good. Now my eggs, I try as hard as I can is to get them from our local farmer. Simply because they're better eggs, better quality than store eggs. These are not from my local farmer because when I went there, they have like a little shack that you could either put the money in or email them the money, email transfer them the money. They didn't have any in there. So I guess I wasn't up early enough to get the eggs. So in the meantime, what I've done while this oil's heating, I have shredded all the peel off my lemon because that's going in there as well. And we're going to use a lemon juice. I'm going to juice it to make it there. So you know your oil is hot enough when it starts to do that shimmery look. So it's almost there. I'm just going to turn it off. I'm going to remove this because I use this to sift my flour. So I'm going to pour my hot oil in there. Okay. And my cornstarch and flour mix that equals 2/3 of a cup. I'm going to put in here, and I'm going to sift it in. When you sift it, it makes the flour very, very fine. And believe it or not, it does change the quality in your cooking. Cakes and muffins, flour should always be sifted, and in some breads as well. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to use this, and I'm going to fold it in. When you fold it in, you do like a line, an X, and you flip it. A line, an X, and flip it. And I keep just doing that. And we're just going to do this. Oh, my oven's preheated, which is good, so it'll be nice and ready when we're ready. So I'm just going back and forth in a straight line, like that. Now I'm going to mix it. Okay. Now while that's mixed, I'm going to let it cool for a few minutes. We're going to juice our lemon. So it's a big lemon, which is good because whatever leftover juice there is, I will use for something else. And even though I've already peeled it, I've left this at room temperature because when it's at room temperature, you get more juice from it. So what I'm just doing is I'm putting my weight with my thing and I'm just rolling it. Just rolling it. There we go. That softens up the lemon a bit and it will give you more juice. So there's one lemon there. Just gonna, I love these things. They work great with grapefruits, oranges, everything. And it gives my bat wings a little bit of a workout. So the other half, I definitely will not need all of this lemon juice, but like I said, I will always use a lemon juice for something. So that's done. And I'm just gonna now lift this up. See, I got some of that pulp there, which is fine. I'm just gonna put this over there. I green bin any food product, so that's good. So now I'm gonna bring this back over here and I'm gonna flip my page because like I said, I had to write it all down in little pieces of paper so I could do this. So now what it wants is the lemon zest of one lemon, so which is all right there. And I just use a small little grater to do that. Then it wants 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. 1, 2. I'm going to put that aside because I'm going to need it for the egg white later in the recipe. Then it asks for 2 tablespoons of honey. And again, we try to buy local honey all the time. Just tastes better and it supports your local farmers. So I got that. And then 3 tablespoons of plain yogurt. I do not use fat-free yogurt. I don't know, maybe I should, but I don't. I like full yogurt. And then your 6 egg yolks. Just pour them all in. There's a little bit of egg white in there. Okay, so now we're going to do the mix. So this one here is the folding. So I'm just going like this to break the egg yolks and just to kind of incorporate. So it's a cut down the middle. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. It's a cut down the middle and fold. A cut down the middle and fold. A cut down the middle and fold. And always make sure you're scraping your edges too. So that way it all gets incorporated. Okay, so once it's folded in, I'm just going to give it Just a little mix, like that, while I scrape the edges. And then I'm going to fold again, because I just don't want no lumps in there. There we go. Oh, and I have a lump. Oh, a piece of harder honey. And another hint, honey. In your jar, if you have liquid honey and it gets crystallized, what you do is you heat up hot water in a pot and then turn your stove off and just place your jar of honey in there. And what it will do is just get it back to fully liquefied. Okay, so that is that. Now the next step is our egg whites. And for this, you need a beater. I do not have a tabletop bowl and mixer. I have a hand one. So we're going to use that. So now I have my 6 egg whites, or 5.5 if I didn't get it all out of the right one. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. And then I'm going to froth this. But I'm going to turn off the video, pause the video for a little bit while I do this. I'm just going to explain because it's very loud. So once the lemon juice and the egg mixture is all frothy, I have 6 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and I'm going to add it in about 3 or 4 parts and keep beating it until I have stiff peaks. So I'm going to start that, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, so now I've done all the whipping, and we are ready to fold it into the cake. Just rinsing my hands. As you can see, there is a peak there. That's what you want. So now we're going to get this, and this is all mixed together. And we're going to add some of this at a time. So I'm going to add just like about that much, and we're going to do the fold and stir, the fold and stir. It's almost methodical. You fold and stir, you put yourself in a nice place. It's almost a form of meditation for me. I really hope this cake turns out. So now that's done. Add some more. Woo. Fold and stir. And then make sure again you're scraping the sides. Fold and stir. So I'm going to continue doing this until it's all incorporated, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now I have it all stirred and incorporated. There it is there. What I've done as well is I've prepared my pans. I've sprayed them and then lined them with parchment paper. Not the greatest job. It doesn't have to look pretty or even, but it will do the trick. The next thing in the video, what it said to do is fill up a pan, and like a roasting pan or something, with water, hot water, and then with like a baking rack, put that on top, because we're going to bake these on top of the baking pan like this. So I guess it's kind of steam as well. So now I'm just going to pour my batter in these 2 things here. Okay, that's one. Try to make it as even as possible between the 2. Yes. I'm so looking forward to trying this because in the video it looked so delicious. Okay. There we go. Okay. So both pans are there. Just kind of rinsing my hands again because I have the stickiness. And I'm going to drop on the counter, so I'll wipe that. Okay, so now this is there. I'm going to put one there like this and one there like this. Now in the video, like I said, I had a 27-inch long pan. So kind of 27-inch or 27 centimeters. But it's one of those long skinny pans. So it'd probably be, well, I wouldn't say that long, but pretty close to it. At least as long as this. A lot longer than a regular pan. So now I'm going to get these in the oven. Now you want your rack on the middle shelf. And you want to be careful you don't spill water all over the place. So now they're in the preheated oven, and they're supposed to be in there for 50 to 60 minutes. So I'm just going to set my timer for 50 minutes, and we'll be back to check on it. Okay, so now it's been 50 minutes. So I'm going to pull out one of the cakes out of the oven to see if they're ready now. And then if they're ready, then obviously we'll pull them out to let them cool. Okay, so I got to be careful because if you remember, they're on a pan with hot water underneath them. So I'm gonna. Ooh. Okay, so it's out. It's a nice golden brown color. So I'm assuming it's ready because by the picture, that is what it looks like. So both of them are really nice golden brown. And I am going to try the toothpick, even though it didn't say that in there, just to be sure. And it came out clean. Perfect. So now I'm going to turn off the oven. I'm going to pull out that pan with the hot water. There we go. And we're going to let them cool. Actually, I'm going to put that on there. We're going to let them cool, but we're going to take them out of the pan to cool. So we're just going to grab one like this and put it like that. And it's going to put this over here for now. And then the other one, the same thing. It's going to grab the papers and lift out and put. Now the one thing I do notice, smells like eggs. So the good thing is I like eggs. So I'm just going to let the sides go down like this. Oh, but I could smell the lemon too. Okay. Now, a rule of thumb is you never cut into things like this when it's too hot. So we're going to let it cool. And then after everything's cool and everything, I'll quickly come back and just videotape and show you what it looks like once it's cut into and take a taste of it. Yum. We'll be back. Okay, so we're back. I just took one of the plastics off this one Castella cake. And I noticed, the one thing I noticed that I'm not too very impressed with is they kind of fell in the center. So I could have probably maybe cooked it longer. I don't know. But I am going to try to kind of slice off and see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, look at that. Smooth and beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to give her a test. Looks like pound cake almost, but really good. Oh. Wow, this is really good. So the only thing that didn't turn out properly is the top of it fell. And again, maybe it's because I took it out of the pan too soon. or I could have cooked it for maybe 5-10 minutes longer. It tastes fully cooked on the inside, and I tell you, this stuff is really, really good. Definitely give it a pass. I will definitely make it again. But next time, I think I'll leave it in the oven for just about 5 minutes. And then I'll let it cool in the pans for about 5 minutes before I pull them out. And then I'll let them cool for about 10 minutes before I take the paper off and see if that makes a difference. But definitely, this cake is very good. Hope you enjoyed. Happy eats!